Yes, it is Lent. Again, to paraphrase Ecclesiastes, is there anything new under the sun? What can we say about Lent in a new way, in a compelling way, in a way that will bring you to embrace and endure this spiritual discipline? Where is the magic bullet? Is there a magic bullet to do this over the long haul? Well, for me, the answer to these questions can be found, perhaps you'll find it strange, I'm sure you will, but the answers can be found in a brief excerpt from a poem by T.S. Eliot. And this bit of poetry is from my personal all-time top 10 best poetry list. These are words that I have literally carried around with me for years on a small piece of paper folded up and tucked into my wallet. And I love these words so much that I share them. Maybe the word is inflict them. I share them, offer them at every chance I get. So today is your lucky day. I'm going to share them with you. Stay tuned. It's worth the effort. If we haven't met, my name is Deacon Richard Hudzik, and I want to use this channel to hand on to you something of what I've heard about the faith that we share. Now, I mentioned the poet of Eliot at the outset, and that's what we're about today. Now, the words of Eliot are not easy to understand. This is Eliot after all, but it's worth the effort to pick up glimmers of what he's talking about, or as Eliot says, pick up hints and guesses, hints followed by guesses. So let me offer the words here and now, and then we'll unpack them, or at least those words that I can use to help me help you on our common Lenten journey. So here goes. To apprehend the point of intersection of the timeless with time is an occupation for the saint. No occupation either, but something given and taken in a lifetime's death in love, ardor, and selflessness and self-surrender. For most of us, there is only the unattended moment, the moment in and out of time, the distraction fit, lost in a shaft of sunlight, the wild time unseen, or the winter lightning, or the waterfall, or music heard so deeply that it is not heard at all, but you are the music while the music lasts. These are only hints and guesses, hints followed by guesses, and the rest is prayer, observance, discipline, thought, and action. That's from Eliot's lengthy poem, The Four Quartets. And so as to give you an opportunity to refresh your memory, I'll give you a link to those words in the description below. I think once we understand a bit of what Eliot is saying, we can use his insight to take with us over the 6 weeks of Lent. So here's my take. Eliot is encouraging us to always look for where the timeless intersects with time. That is, we are looking to find the eternal, the timeless, in the here and now, in time. That's what the saints do, Eliot says. This looking for the divine and the ordinary, he says, is an occupation for the saint. And as we've all heard, we are all called to be saints. It is our occupation to see God's presence every day and in the everyday. We are trying to apprehend the point of intersection of the timeless with time, or in plain English, we're trying to see where the infinite God is right here and now. But then, wait a moment, the poet retreats. Maybe occupation isn't the word. Instead, Eliot considers that seeking God in our midst is something both much bigger as well as something much more gradual. Taking a second look, Eliot says that seeking the eternal here and now is a lifetime's death in love, ardor, and selflessness and self-surrender. This sounds like the Christian's life of service, death to oneself and life arising out of love of the other. This is the way. This is the path our Lord gives us to come to know Him. This is a lifetime's task to see God with us. And the constituent parts of the task are love, ardor, selflessness, and self-surrender. Finding the eternal requires that we acquire the vision resulting from love and surrender of ourselves. Now, that's all well and good, especially if you're a saint. But Eliot acknowledges for most of us, most definitely myself included, we only periodically attend to the business of locating the intersection of the infinite into the mundane. It's a mighty tall order to always be focused. It's a tall order to live a life of love, passion, and surrender. There is good news, however. Even though we are too often distracted, there are moments in our lives that arrest our distraction. And here, for me, is where the art of the poet Eliot really emerges. Eliot asks us if we've never come into contact with the sublime within the midst of the ordinary. Have we ever walked into a field or even down the street and we get a whiff from somewhere on the breeze of the wild thyme, T-H-Y-M-E, the wild thyme unseen? What is that sweet fragrance, that smell? Who is blessing me with that? Or in our northern latitudes, isn't it strange to see lightning in winter? Does it not remind me of the warmth of the summer? Could winter be yielding to spring? Who is blessing me with that hope? Or have you ever walked in the forest and heard through the trees from a distance the sound of a waterfall? Oh, don't I want to go see it and enjoy its beauty? And whose image is reflected in that beautiful waterfall? And moreover, the poet seems to ask, don't those people we spend our lives with act as uplifting music? Are they not the music heard so deeply that it is not heard at all as we walk through life with family and friends? What harmonies are they singing to us? Even so, all these are only hints and guesses of what is eternal. These hints and guesses bring us a periodic refocus on the task of Lent. A refocus that is essential if we are to make it through Lent with hearts that are different and renewed and changed and reborn. How do we pursue Lent in a new way? Although Eliot was not a theologian, he was a Christian, and his advice is worthy for us to consider. The project of Lent is not singular or unidirectional or singularly focused. Rather, to pursue the infinite and to live Lent well means, per Eliot, prayer, discipline, thought, and action. Thus, we engage in the spiritual disciplines we choose for Lent. We gird them and reinforce them in prayer. We receive the grace of God, and so, embraced and encouraged, we await Easter as purified and focused seekers. One step at a time, one day at a time, faithfully, patiently, always listening for the music others are singing, always alert to the sweetness of creation, always eager to hear distant thunder in winter. All of what is ordinary is really divine, if we are alert enough to see it. It is this kind of living with eyes and hearts open that will allow us to stay focused on Lent It is the kind of encouragement that will bring us to return again and again to what we sought to do at the beginning of Lent. No matter how many times we forget, we fail, or we fall. The Lord is good. He has kissed creation with his goodness, and this creation gives us hints and guesses of the fire and life that is to come at Easter. So that's the word for today. If you've received any benefit from the video, hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. It keeps us better connected. So between now and the next video, may you walk with the Lord. May your Lent be bountiful and fully blessed. And may God bless you. I will see you soon.